What are we looking for in a flip?
What is up? Hey, Matt Chick here. You guys know who I am.
So we've been flipping for a few years now. It's been it's been awesome. Currently have 8 projects going. That's down from 18. We'd probably still be buying if the market wasn't where it is right now. So we've kind of throttled back. We're gonna take another 4 or 5 off the board and then we'll start buying. I wouldn't say heavy again, but we'll keep 10 flips going at all time. I'll probably keep somewhere between 4 or 5 million bucks on the street at any given time just to keep the business going and rolling. But as I was kind of creating processes, procedures, systems, it kind of dawned on me. And what dawned on me was, what are we looking for in a flip? And that made me think of something that I wish I would have had the information about 5 years ago when we started flipping, and it is what would make a good first flip. When we first got in this business, our first flip, it was just something that kind of came across my desk. I was like, oh, let's take an opportunity on this one. Let's see what we can do, see how it plays out. And thank God the last 2 years have been amazing. And if you bought a flip, didn't necessarily buy right, or you paid too much on rehab, or something didn't go right in the process, you probably did well. Just because of the state of the market, people overbidding on the property, houses selling in the first 24 hours and putting on the MLS. It was hard unless you were super wrong on a buy or something to lose money. Not the case now, not the case back in 2017. 2017 was still good to be flipping, but it wasn't nearly as hot. Inventory would still sit. So it made me think of like, what would be a good first flip? And that's what I'm gonna do today is I'm gonna give you the framework or the criteria of what I think your perfect first flip would be. And if you were gonna risk it right now in this market, this is what I would be going after. And the first thing for me is location. Without a doubt, location is by far one of the most important things when we're talking about flipping homes. In a low inventory market, it becomes less important. In a high inventory market, it becomes very important. People want a very nice house. I'm assuming you're gonna give a cool product that's gonna be unique, it's gonna be fun, or it's gonna be at least to today's standards. But things that you can't control is where the home is located. So what are the things that you want to stay away from? 1, busy streets, man. If you're on a street or 2 houses in from a street, right now I would not be touching any of that stuff. On University, on Broadway, Southern, like anything that's on a main vein going into a community, I would definitely buy deeper than I would buy anything else. Particularly, I wouldn't even touch that right now. So anything on a main street, absolutely stay away from. I believe in a typical market, you're probably doing something like a 5 to 10% adjustment when you're buying that home as a buyer. I would say right now in this market, I'd be doing a bigger adjustment than that. But I would not do that as a first flip on a main street. I think you're gonna sit right now and the inventory would be horrible. Other thing is multifamily or commercial around it. That backs to an apartment building, does it back to an auto body shop, does it back to a commercial building, does it back to an area that's super busy late at night. The things that I'm looking for there is this a place that people are gonna wanna call home? Is it a place that people could feel like they could have a family, it's safe? And typically around the commercial stuff, it just doesn't do as well because you have a higher foot traffic. And that higher foot traffic and that higher constant revolving door around that area, it just is nasty and buyers don't typically like it. So I would absolutely stay away from anything that's commercial, anything that's multifamily behind it, apartment buildings. You might be okay with like duplexes. I'm not talking about that stuff. I'm talking about apartment buildings, 25 units or more. I'm talking about commercial spaces, especially loud commercial spaces. If they're auto body, compressors are running, stuff like that. So you want to be super aware of that. Right now, the other thing I would think about besides location is condition. I'm looking at a lot of timing. How long is it going to take me to flip this house? I want to be super purposeful in that. Right now, we're looking for stuff that we can blow and go on. We want to be done with rehab somewhere between 4 and 6 weeks, maybe 60 days at the most, because we know the sales cycle could be 30, 60, 90 days, depending on the area that we're at. So we want it all done, closed between 4 to 6 months on anything we're flipping now. So if you're getting a project where you're, having to beam it, if you're getting a project where you're trying to add square footage, if you're getting a project that is just a complete gut job plus, I would definitely shy away from that on my first one. Now, if you're an experienced flipper, go at it. You guys know, like, framing's not a big deal. It's not a big deal at all. It's just time, energy, and money. And if you have the skill set or the team to do it, then go ahead and do it. But my first one, I wouldn't be looking at anything that I have to do too much construction in. When I say that, as I'm talking about, do I got to replumb it? Do I got to put electrical? Do I got to pull permits? Permits are a big thing. If I got to pull permits, you're going to waste a little bit of time there. So I'm not really interested in anything that I got to pull permits on. on as a first flip. I'm really probably looking for something that's very cosmetic, something I'm not changing the footprint. Maybe you're deleting a non-load bearing wall. Maybe you're just opening it up just a little bit where you don't have to beam it. The footprint of the house is staying exactly what it is, and the configuration of the house is staying exactly where it is. That would be a great first flip. Third thing I'm looking at is total cost. What else I'm looking at is total cost. I want to be under probably $450,000 right now. If I was doing my first flip, I would tell you the lower you could be, the better. 450, 500 maybe max, because those are the loans that are still transacting right now. Man, if you get up in the higher mil and a half, 2 mil, people bringing a ton of cash, so I'm not too worried there, but I would never do that as my first flip. So first flip, I'm trying to probably be somewhere between 200 to 300 acquisition. Exit, I'm trying to be probably somewhere between 400 and 500. But honestly, right now, I truly believe the lower the better, especially if you can find a good product that you can just configure the footprint the way it is and blow and go. Then I'm looking at construction costs. What do I need to put into it? If you're doing a full gut, we're still using about $50 a square foot, $45 a square foot if it's a full gut. If we do some basic cosmetic stuff, we're at 30, 35. Honestly, I've been wrong on some of my rehabs lately, so I am estimating higher than ever. I never used to run over budget. My last job, we ran 20 grand over budget, so I'm not too happy about that, but oh well. So I'm looking at, okay, I'm gonna go in and do flooring, I'm gonna go in and do new cabinets, I'm gonna go in and just do the cookie cutter stuff that everybody likes to do. It's the finishes, it's the finished carpentry, it's the doors, all that stuff. That's what I'm looking for is, can I go in, can I make this product super nice, and does it look amazing? The other thing I'm looking for is curb appeal. How does it look from the front? I want it to look super cute. Not necessarily right now, but what could it look like? And I truly believe that front elevations sell the house. So if as I'm analyzing properties as a first flip, I'm going, okay, can I make the front yard look cute? Can I make the backyard look cute? How can I make this house just pop on the street to where maybe it looks a little different? What can I do out front with some landscaping? So I'm really taking curb appeal into it if I was thinking about doing my first flip. Other thing I'm looking for is big issues, mechanical, roofing, and that's going to go over the total condition, right? I want to be probably rehab all in somewhere between 50 to 65,000 bucks on my first one. And the reason I say that is because your total cash out of pocket with down, depending where you're at, you're probably going to be somewhere between $50,000 and $100,000, 100 on the high end, depending on your acquisition price. But I would say as your first flip, I would definitely try to be that $50,000 to $75,000 out of pocket with probably a good 7, 8, 9 months of burn in the bank that you could still pay your hard money costs. Those are the things that I'd be looking at. Curb appeal, how much time it's going to take, location, do I stand out? And then you got to focus on just making sure you give an amazing product. Do not chintzy on the finishes. Don't hire contractors that aren't doing the work properly. Make sure you're meticulous about that stuff, because when you get a final product, it shows. If your tile was laid incorrectly, or if it's not straight, if your grout's not good, if your cabinet's offset, once it's a finished product, those little things start to pop. And I truly believe in being a master of the trade, so you make sure you're giving an amazing product out there to the finish line. As you guys are looking for your first flip, if you guys need help, you can always reach out, hit me up, shoot in the DMs or shoot me a message, shoot a comment down below. I'd be happy to answer anything you guys need as you guys are out there looking for your first one. Analyzing deals right now are super important, especially if it's going to be your first flip. So be prepared to partner with someone, unless you're an agent and you feel comfortable with all your numbers. Partner with someone that knows the information and knows the data points and can give you that stuff. And I got people that send me deals all the time that we talked about JV and stuff, and sometimes I think I'm being overly critical or overly negative about it, but I truly believe for your first one, you got to make sure you win. So that means you got to be particular about the one you buy. This isn't a market where it's going to help you. This market will absolutely hurt you if you're not prepared to do it the right way. So just be prepared to do it the right way and partner with the people that can help you make sure you do that. I hope you guys go out there and crush it. Go get that first one. I hope you make a ton of money on it, so then you can scale it and go do 5, 6, 7 at a time. Let's go crush life.